That's it?
Probably, right?
That's what you got for me?
Is that what you're thinking?
I mean, I was hoping for maybe a little more play, but
I think that's what it is.
well, that's unfortunate.
But isn't that probably what it is?
Probably. Man, I hate saying things like that.
But I mean, I think
You
this
can
is...
misdirection and cabal therapy.
Yeah, but don't they...
Just name Black Lotus, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you really don't want them to you don't want them to cabal therapy either player. Because they probably just named Golgari Grave Troll.
Yeah.
Cabal therapy me, no cabal therapy you. Well, I was thinking about doing that anyway. Golgari Grave Troll, dump 2. So, to get back to my point, and to actually bring it home on a meaningful note, the slow dredge versus fast dredge camps of ages past. One wanted to play a bunch of permanent-based discard outlets and no Lion's Eye Diamond. The other wanted to play more draw spells and 4 Lion's Eye Diamond, and and more Dread Returns, and kill on turn 2 or 3. Faithless Looting really pushed all of the dredge players into one camp. It was undeniable that a flashback careful study that flashback for exactly what Lion's Eye Diamond produces is a big deal.
Yeah, and
previously,
Lion's Eye Diamond also like gives you the cards to dredge.
Right. Previously, they had deep analysis to dredge off of Lion's Eye Diamond, but that cost life, and it was only 2. It wasn't quite, the beautiful
It also like
symmetry that you want.
Yeah.
And so with 8 careful studies, you can just always have a draw spell on turn 2 after discarding a dredge draw on turn 1.
Yeah, I mean, having Faithless Looting in your opening hand as dredge is a lot better than having a deep analysis in your opening hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
The deep analysis has much better art.
Well, yeah.
It's got a bunch of cephalids taking apart a Masticore.
Yeah, I had seen Deep Analysis many times before I knew that was a Mastercore and Deep Analysis's artwork.
It's definitely a Masticore.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's pretty cool. I mean,
cephalids are looking at it, they're like,
not quite good enough.
I don't know about this guy.
It's very weird that
So this is a funny story. David McDarby borrowed the Judge promo sneak attacks that he's playing from Ben McDowell,
the Dream Halls player,
and in the semifinals, he had to play against Ben McDowell, and he beat Ben McDowell with a Judge promo sneak attack.
That's awesome.
That was lent to him by Ben McDowell.
Just gave McDarby the cards that beat him. That's
Yes.
awesome. I'm
sure they're both happy. They're like two friends in the top 4 of a tournament.
Yeah.
You can't be upset about that.
No. It's kind of weird that they printed Psychotog on Shock in Onslaught.
Oh, Psychotog getting shocked?
Yeah.
Well, it's not necessarily Psychotog. It's an ATOG, right? You don't know which ATOG it is.
It has so many teeth.
All the ATOGs have a lot of teeth.
Did they all have that, like, bulbous head?
Yeah.
They all just look exactly the same? All ATOGs look the same? What are you trying to say here?
Oh, well, the finals of the Grand Prix. It's Brad Nelson versus Christian Calcano. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? I'm biased against ATOGs now?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, man.
Man, I hope Ben Stark doesn't hear this. He'll be really upset.
He's Agatog on
He's
Moto?
the Atog, yes.
Well, I mean, he eats ATOGs.
He eats ATOGs. Yeah, that's true. Never mind. He'll probably agree with me.
Yeah.
Be like,
He
I
eats
just
ATOGs,
want to
too.
get buff. I want to eat some ATOGs.
Brad Nelson versus Christian Calcano. Man, two good friends of mine. Don't know who to root for. I guess I have to root for the deck that Nick made. But everyone gave Christian so much flack for playing that deck. The blue-red Delver.
Yeah, so, David McDarby apparently lives within 500 yards of Brad Nelson. So if David wins this finals and Brad wins the finals of the GP, both trophies will end up, like, within 1,500 feet of each other.
That's awesome. One from Minneapolis, one from Orlando, coming together in Roanoke.
both these finals being played at the same time.
It's awesome. So David McDarby, higher seed, leads off. Scalding Tarn for Volcanic Island. Ponder?
That's what it looks like it's going to be.
Yep. Ponder it is.
And the nice thing for David is, I think for the first time in his top
show
8,
and tell in the middle.
he can just fishbowl.
Yep. I mean, these are two decks goldfishing each other about as hard as it gets. McDarby has to figure out how to stack cards correctly so that they don't get Cabal Therapy, but that's about it.
Yep. Now, he does have the show and tell. It looks like he also has the sneak attack.
Does he have?
Does he have a gigantic monster? Now he does. He just drew the Aeon's Torn, Flying Spaghetti Monster itself. All right, no Ancient Tomb. Otherwise, he could just plop that right into play. But it's looking like he's going to maybe just Preordain this turn, cracking that Polluted Delta.
Didn't want the third card.
A Volcanic Island. You know, I remember opening a Volcanic Island in a pack, and it was like not even that long ago. It was a Zendikar pack. Preordain reveals a Spell Pierce and a Sneak Attack. Doesn't want either of those. Draws a Sneak Attack off the top anyway. Now with a Brainstorm in hand. It's only action. Mark discarding Thug to his Putrid Imp. Going to dredge this Thug. Gets a Bridge from Below, Flame Consulate, Cephalid Coliseum, and a City of Brass.
Mark really wants to draw a spell here. Does he? Oh, he has Breakthrough. Jeez. This Breakthrough is going to be a big game.
Well, at this point, I mean, his only dredger is Golgari Thug.
So he needs to flip.
Yeah, Caution to the Wind if he throws out Breakthrough here.
9 of in the first 4 cards.
And he does. Yeah. Breakthrough.
Yeah, no, he just has to jam. Oh boy. Brainstorm, land, something. Gristlebrand?
It is a Gristlebrand. Yep. And Mark going to dredge this Golgari Thug. And will he hit a dredger? Careful Study. Faithful Slitting. Golgari Grey Troll, Stinkweed Imp. And he did it.
Pow.
Yeah, those two are going to be huge.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now another Golgari Grave Troll.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still no Narcomoebas.
Yes, however, he did get another Stinkweed Imp there.
And I haven't seen any Cabal Therapies so far. 1, 2, 3. There we go. 4, 5. So 2 Cabal Therapies and a Narcomoeba, and at least 1 Bridge. The Gristlebrand as well. You can't reorganize your graveyard, is the thing.
Your graveyard has to remain in the same order.
Which is why so many players who play Legacy Dredge spread it out so carefully. Because otherwise you just shuffle all of the lands to the back, all of the black cards, bridges, and dredgers to the front, and you know, you only have to look in one place. Does it interact or not? It's very easy. But the problem is there are cards like Death Spark. Another Shadow. Ashen
Alright,
Ghoul.
Mark attacks for 1 with his Putrid Imp. And past the turn, doesn't use
Cabal Therapy, which is actually like a big deal.
a pretty huge deal.
So David could Ancient Tomb,
Can David
Show and
just
Tell,
drop
Sneak
an
Attack.
Emrakul into play?
I think
know.
he could actually Sneak Attack an Emrakul. Sorry, Sneak Attack Gristlebrand, Peel 14 to a Lotus Petal to also sneak Emrakul into play and just kill him on the spot. Pow. And activate. He has Gristlebrand, right?
Yeah, I think he's Gristlebrand and Emrakul in hand. So he could Gristlebrand and then find a red source. And then...
Oh dear.
And yeah, I mean his opponent
David
will have
making
no
sure that
blockers.
he's not missing anything.
No, I mean the zombies don't fly.
Yeah. Let me see your graveyard. I think that what he's doing is, before revealing that he has Mark pretty dead, wants to make sure that there's no weird cards. Yeah. Like Gristlebrand that he's forgetting.
Yeah, and you're safe, David. You can drop that Gristlebrand into play, dig for that red source, and kill Mark right now. He has to dig for a petal though, right?
Yeah, but he has... Oh, if he's at 14, then he only has 7 draws to do that?
Yeah, he only has 7 cards to do it.
I guess he could dig to a petal afterwards, and then petal cast Brainstorm, stack Emrakul on top of his deck, safe from Cabal Therapy,
Yeah.
and then just sneak it in next turn.
It's true, he could try that.
He's just trying to figure out what he's missing, why Cabal Therapy wasn't flashed back last turn.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused about that also. But I think there's yeah, but I mean, it's pretty risky for him to go for it this turn, but he pretty much has to because he's dead next turn if he doesn't.
Yeah.
So here he goes, going to
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
does hit a Force of Will, but
Yeah.
does not hit the pedal that he needed.
Correct. So now he just sends in, goes back to 14. I expect a block here from Mark.
Yeah, I mean, it would be extremely strange if Mark didn't block here.
Especially since Mark wants his bridge token, and Sneak Attack says sacrifice it at the end of turn, not exile it. And so he sacrifices it and KOs the bridge. Bridge triggers.
Yep, bridge triggers. Yeah, so... Yeah, so aren't the bridges being removed?
Yeah. To those of you online who are saying that Petal doesn't kill him because his opponent can cast Gristlebrand, can block Gristlebrand with zombies from bridge, Gristlebrand is a flying demon.
Yes.
And zombies don't fly as a general rule.
Yeah, zombies rarely fly. I mean, there are zombies that fly. Look at Putrid Imp.
Yeah, man. But he doesn't block after a while.
Yeah, he doesn't block. He flies,
He's
but he doesn't
a
block.
scaredy zombie.
Yeah, he is. What other zombies fly?
Scabronator.
It's true.
And that guy comes back for more.
Yeah.
Vulturous zombie.
Vulturous zombie?
From the director's chair, Jeremy Knoll pointing out.
A nice one. Vulturous zombie?
The black
That guy
green
was a
3.
beast.
Whenever a card goes to your graveyard from anywhere, you can put a 1/1 counter on it.
Man, I had that guy on my pre-release deck.
About as good as expected. Dredge
Yes,
6.
very good.
6 1/1 counters. That
I also
is.
had this card called Ribbons of Night that I thought was pretty good.
What's
Turned
that
out it was
do?
very good. Alright, so...
So dredging 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
those bridges got removed, right? That happened?
I sure hope so.
Okay.
Yeah, the zombie there because Narcomoeba chump blocked. David back at 14. About to get hit for 7, right? The 2/2 can't block Putrid Imp, the 3/3, the 3/1 Icarid, the 2/2 zombie. Putrid Imp, a 1/1 flyer, discard a card, it gains flying until end of turn. A 1/1, discard a card, it gains flying until end of turn. Threshold, it gets +1/+1 and can't block. So it's a 2/2 that I suppose with the smell of putrescence rises above the rye to clock someone in the air for 2. Or 1, as the situation may demand. So now he's going to Cabal Therapy him.
Almost certainly going to name him Rockle.
Yeah. I would immediately name that.
Yep. So things looking pretty good for the dredge player this game.
Sacrificing Putrid Imp? Not Icarid?
Interesting choice.
I'm confused by this.
He wants the Putrid Imp as fuel for the Icarid the next turn. No, there are other black cards. I think David's just pretty confused now.
Yeah. I would be thoroughly confused if I were David. He's like, okay. What would you like to name?
No, he might be deciding whether or not he wants to
Force Will it?
force a will it.
Yeah. Is that card second from the left actually a Miracle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yeah, he does need to protect against Cabal Therapy. And he does just have Mark dead to rights as soon as he untaps.
Well, Mark's at 18.
Oh, because he jump blocked, yeah.
Yeah.
He does annihilate his zombies and his land. And then Icarid comes back, nugs him to 3. Ooh.
It's a very close game at this point.
Yeah. Cabal Therapy me? Now that's weird. I thought you said Cabal Therapy you. Huh. I don't like him pitching Intuition there. Yeah, I'll name Grave Troll and put it in the bin. Activate. Ooh, cast Brainstorm. City of Traders, Lotus Petal.
Oh, that Lotus Petal is 2 cards off. It's probably a little bit.
And fetch land. So he's going to put back what looks like City of Traders and 2 lands. Right, because he can play fetch land plus Lotus Petal.
I don't know if I want to play fetch land. Does he have a land that it's not a fetch land that he could play?
Nope.
Because the difference between 3 and 2 as a life total when your opponent has bridges in their deck is pretty big.
I agree.
Alright. I mean, you gotta just put the Emrakul into play, right?
Yeah. He's definitely Eldrazi dome shotting Mark this turn. He's just trying to figure out if there's any way he can also Demon Dome shot Mark this turn for the full 22.
And, I mean, yeah, he can sacrifice this fetch land. Get a Mountain, Brainstorm with the Valk. Look for a Gristlebrand. If he hits it, he's golden. So, Brainstorm, looking for Gristlebrand. Let's Ponder.
Sneak attack, show and tell.
Not what he wants to see there.
No.
Not at all.
He can rebuy on that 2 additional cards if he ponders off of the pedal.
Yeah, he's definitely going to ponder off the pedal.
Nope. Just settles for Eldraziing Mark.
Well, the ponder off the pedal, you can get
the land as well. Good sir.
Yep. Yeah, City Press.
It does matter, given that if you flash Dread Return, you aren't going to be able to pay for it. If, say, David has Daze. So now David has 7 live draws next turn to the instant kill, so to speak.
Yep. And a ponder.
Yeah.
So.
Well, seven outer with 5 cards to it. His draw step plus 4 cards from ponder. 3 known and a shuffle. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Double Narcomoeba. That means that he has to get an Umbraco, right?
Yep, down to 4 outs.
Down to 4 outs. 2.
Draws a Gristlebrand. Actually, no. So Gristlebrand gives him a rebuyout, right?
Because he can
just sneak attack
gain 7.
and gain 7, yeah.
Makes sense.
So Narcomoeba becomes a 2/2. Ichord comes back. Oh no, there's no bridges because Emrakul died.
Yep. So this is a pretty interesting game. Again, we thought this was going to be like non-interactive
going to
battleship.
be like them throwing their decks at each other, racing each other. But no, this is really
pretty interesting how this all just
combat
ends up
math.
happening. The
Tough
combat
decisions.
math and
Do
the
I
dredge me show and tell matchup.
Do I ponder off of my Lotus Petal? Do I activate my Gristlebrand before or after combat? Can I see your graveyard again?
And I mean, it's all relevant.
Pawing through it. Yeah, absolutely. How many Ichords can you return?
Yeah, so here, David can put the Gristlebrand into play. That will give him enough life that he'll be able to intuition for the Emrakuls and win next turn, right?
Yeah.
Because Mark has no bridges.
The brutal part about all of this is that if David had kept Delta instead of Petal, then he could have played Delta a turn ago, gone to 1, and intuitioned, and been able to, yeah,
that's true,
and be able to Emrakul Gristlebrand the same turn.
All right, so
as it is, Gristlebrand is going to be a rebuyout.
Yep.
Bang.
Is that a show and tell in his hand, not an intuition?
Sneak attack, surprisingly good at KOing opponent's bridges.
Yeah. Mark has to be running low on black creatures, right? Like, how many does he even play?
Yeah. So, weird question. Would you rather have attacked there, or would you have rather just said go? Sneak Gristlebrand in, block Ichord, gain life, pay life, and he's
paying 7?
This is daring.
This is crazy.
Because he doesn't have a combat step now? So he's just like super dead to not redrawing Gristlebrand? Why'd he do that? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand why he did that.
What's going on?
Pondered. Finds a Gristlebrand.
Wow, really?
Pretty lucky. Play a Lotus Petal.
That seems like an unnecessary activation.
Yeah.
Alternatively, a calculated risk that only a savvy veteran like David McDarby would understand to know to take. I mean, he has played this deck far more than Jake and I have combined.
That is true. Man, I think I'm going to start playing with decks like this. This deck's sweet. Right, Gristlebrand dies, and any bridges? Yeah. This game is so crazy.
Yeah, this is real intense. And this is just game 1.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow.
This is just like a sick game.
Yeah, so, Mark decided to dredge this, Grave Troll. How many cards are even left in Mark's deck? It can't be that many, right? And his 2 Grave Trolls.
Would it be fair to say that David McDarby's best friend is Gristlebrand, or that Gristlebrand's best friend is David McDarby?
I think they're soul bonded.
Yeah, they really have to be.
It's funny because, you know, like Gristlebrand, like, you don't expect him to really soul bond with anybody.
Yeah, but maybe David McDarby just demonic enough. So, the sick part about this is that David McDarby also needs the lifelink rules to be the way they are, not the way they used to be, for this to keep him alive.
Mm-hmm.
Because it used to be that lifelink was a trigger, and that
you'd just be dead to state based.
You'd be dead to state based with your gain life on the stack. As it is, he's going to take 4, gain 7 at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not going to be at -2 with a gain 7 trigger on the stack.
He's going to be at 5.
He's going to be at 5, which is way different.
Mm-hmm. So he goes to 5.
And so Sneak Attack says, at the beginning of the next end step, sacrifice that creature. It's kind of sick also that Mark Cabal Therapied sacrificing that Petri Dimp so long ago. And that would have been a super relevant attacker over the last 2 or 3 turns.
Yeah, I mean, David would have been dead.
Yeah. If you just therapied off of Icarid.
This game has so many
all
tiny,
the edges
tiny,
have to play
tiny
perfectly. If you don't, you get punished, and it all comes back. This is just an awesome sequence.
Can David find
An Emrakul.
Emrakul? Or Gristlebrand?
His third.
His 3rd Gristlebrand. Or can he ponder into it? Or can he draw an intuition?
Yeah.
There are a lot of, like, David's deck's pretty live.
Yeah, absolutely. Preordain into, ponder into, brainstorm into, intuition into. No, that zombie token stays there. Yeah.
And he's going to Dread Return. Is he actually going to Dread Return Gristlebrand?
You can't Dread Return. He got the tokens in his end step. Right? We're in his end step? We're in his... Oh, he's casting Dread Return, and that's why he's getting the tokens. He's Dread Return Golgari Grave Troll?
Okay, well, if you... Yeah, I was going to say...
I would Dread Return Stinkweed Imp.
Yeah, you can't Dread Return Gristlebrand because it would just die to the Gristlebrand that's already in play. That's why I was like, is he actually going to do that?
Yeah, no, I would Dread Return Stinkweed Imp.
Yeah, that actually seems much better.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep. And, this is so absurd, this game. Alright. So, David, you're probably just gonna force this, right? Give yourself one more out.
So it takes him to 4, which leaves him dead on board, but he was dead on board anyway. Misdirection it to... Misdirection it to... What would you like to Dread Return?
Why?
What do you mean, why? Why would he misdirection it?
Yeah, wasn't it targeting... Wasn't targeting Gore Grave Troll, so it just makes no difference?
I don't know if he was targeting Grave Troll. Jeremy, can we get some confirmation on what Mark announced as the target? clearly David misdirected the dread return to Icarid, but
brainstorm.
I am interested in what
Do you think Croc's
the original
special line
target
first?
was. Does he know the top of his deck?
What?
Does he know the top of his deck?
Nope. Oh, I guess, yeah, you have
sure?
more brainstorm effects, so I guess you don't. I guess you brainstorm first.
Can you brainstorm? He announced Grave Troll as his dread return target, and David said no. Weird.
Direction. Oh, but I mean, right. So, brainstorm. Then brainstorm. Then fetch land. Okay, he's gonna choose a fetch land first. I don't like that because you could always hit. Oh, he checks the top 3. You can't do that, David.
No, you never look.
Never look. It's so scary. So scary. What? You just tapped like the brainstorm.
Yeah, I think he knew one card on top of his library.
There's ponder there.
I see a foil somewhere. Ponder?
Yeah,
Huh?
I'm gonna get to look at 2 more cards of this ponder.
Shuffle?
Shuffle it up. This is so much fun.
Dear Lord.
Oh, Mark's
Really?
definitely gonna cut to a Miracle. Don't you just feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's gonna happen.
Just like Eli Kazis cut to the time spiral in Edison like a
Yes.
year and a bit ago.
That's how it has
Oh,
to
God,
happen.
is he-
It's the finals.
Oh, come on. Really? The rebuy?
It's a crystal print, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes!
Very nice.
Emracolio.
Alright, David McDarby up a game.
David McDarby just cool as the other side of the pillow.
No, he's actually yelling, please, dear God. All right.
Okay.
Everybody, hello. And
Welcome back.
welcome back.
Okay, so
We're about to ask a trivia question.
Yeah.
You can tweet your answers into hashtag SCG Premium, and you'll give yourself a chance to win a free Gen Con badge.
Okay, I have
Now-
a sweet question.
Okay, yeah, by all means.
Okay, so there's been a lot of show and tell decks and other degenerate strategies in this top 8, and in this finals, we actually have a similarity in the deck list in one very peculiar way
A mythic rare from Avacyn Restored.
that both decks are playing.
Both decks are playing this mythic rare, which is kind of strange. Like I haven't seen this. I
it's
actually
not-
haven't seen this mythic rare.
I wouldn't instantly peg it in either deck, but it makes sense once you see it in either instance.
Yeah, I actually don't think this card has in any deck list made the top 8 of an SCG Open
Before today,
before today, and now 2 decks in the finals,
both playing it.
both playing this card. A mythic rare from Avacyn Restored. I'd like to know what this is. So what mythic rare from Avacyn Restored makes an appearance in both of our finalist decks?
Yep. Tweet that to hashtag SCG Premium for a chance to win a 4-day pass to Gen Con.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was an awesome game.
Yeah, I'm gonna like. I just like.
we have,
like.
we have two.
You guys
we have
you
one
want to
and
high five?
four. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was awesome.
And I'm not even rooting against Dredge. It's just
No,
like,
it's just like you're just on pins
you're like,
and needles the entire time.
You know, because it's like, oh,
Just
man.
like the brainstorm into the ponder, shuffle,
Brainstorm
ponder.
into ponder.
Ah,
Nothing, don't
Emrakul.
find anything with the ponder. Have to shuffle my library. Oh, shuffle my library into a ponder. Oh, ponder. Oh, I got it. The crowd goes wild. Do we know if Brad won the Grand Prix?
Calcano was up a game last time.
And he's
Calcano's
probably
up
playing
again?
very, very Bradley.
Some thinks that it's a miracle.
Oh, God.
So, back for game 2.
Yeah, so here we go. How do you think... do you think these players are going to sideboard? Can you pass the deck list over to me?
Yeah.
That game was going on so long, I couldn't have the deck list in front of me because I was going to start tearing it to pieces.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, like in a nervous way. All right, David McDarby, post-sport. Ooh, he has 3 copies
Of Grafdigger's Cage.
Grafdigger's Cage.
The card that was heralded by many to be the end of Dredge. Mark.
Many were wrong.
Yeah, Mark, to his credit, has For Nature's Claim.
But as we previously discussed during this top 8, Richard Feldman and many others who are very good Dredge players say that cards like that never ever win games.
Yeah. We may see him proven wrong yet.
All right, so let's see if Richard Feldman and the dark art of Dredge Foo
Prove true.
prove to be true. I mean, I buy it. Jamie Park never sided in reactive cards when he played Dredge at a Grand Prix a long, long time ago, when like it was like a new thing that you could play in extended, and he like came in like 10th at some Grand Prix, and he hadn't played Magic in like 8 years, and he was playing Dredge.
Jeez.
So weird. I mean, he's one of just like
One of the best ever.
he's like not one, of, but he's just a
Americans ever?
brilliant dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who can just show up and play out of nowhere and like come in second at Worlds and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's filthy.
So
That was with 5-color control, right?
yeah, like a really bad list of it too.
Had Rocksmore Monk.
Yeah. So the funniest was he was testing that 5-color control list against Paulo's Fairies deck.
Yeah. It was just like crushing him.
Well, he had to play against Paulo in round 1 of the top 8.
Sure.
And so he was testing, and somebody else was playing Paulo's deck. And they played like 20 games, and he won like 1 out of 20 of them. And then in the top 8, he won.
That's awesome.
All right, so this just in. Christian Calcano, the villain, has defeated Brad Nelson, our hero, in the finals.
It's not
of
fair
the
to call
Grand Prix.
Calcano a villain.
I know. Christian
That guy
Calcano, we
needed a
love
break
him.
in his life more than quite possibly anyone.
It probably means more to Christian Calcano to win this Grand Prix than it would mean to anybody
Yeah.
else in the world,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
So
full
I've
agree.
actually I'm busting his chops, if anything. I know him. He's from my local area.
Yeah.
We get along. It's
He-
good.
He is much beloved in the Magic community.
Oh, yeah. He's such a great dude. I mean, he's nice to all of his opponents. He's a friend of just about everybody in the community.
Great ambassador of the game.
Yeah, always like plays his own decks.
Yeah.
Usually they
Works
play
hard.
Doran the Siege Tower. And I guess, Calcano figured out what he has to do if he's going to win a tournament. And Christian Calcano, I hope this tells you what you have to do in the future if you want to win tournaments. He can't lose a match.
Did he not lose a match all?
Yeah, he didn't lose a match.
GP?
He drew into top 8, but he didn't lose a match
That's
during the
pretty
entirety of the GP. But the thing is, have you ever seen the difference? Christian Calcano in the first round he's playing in a GP plays really well. In the second round he plays really well. And then something happens where he loses one round,
And he just goes
and
on
then he just
super
becomes
duper
this like
mega dump truck
blithering,
life tilt.
yeah, like immediately. Like he could be like 8-0 and then like pick up one loss, and immediately it's just like
Dive
just, like-
bomber, like crash into the gutter.
Yeah. Like if he's like a guy in a suit with like a gold chain and a watch, and he's like walking
strutting
around with
along.
swag, going down the street, and then like
Trips on a cobblestone.
yeah, no, it doesn't even trip on the cobblestone. It just like slips a little bit, and then all of a sudden you see him like 5 minutes later, and he's like a homeless guy like eating out of a garbage can. Like you're just like, what happened?
Yeah, that
It goes
dude
on
had
tilt
it
very
going
easily.
so well for him.
Everything was going so well.
What happened?
All right, anyway, we're going into game 2 here. Congratulations to Christian Calcano. I'm super happy for you.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, I'm very excited about you getting back to New York this week.
And getting
Perhaps
back to
I
the Pro
can,
Tour.
Yeah, I'm.
He missed.
Perhaps we can meet up this week.
yeah,
I'll buy you
missed
some
gold.
Magnolia.
Aw.
Yeah.
Doesn't he owe cake? Isn't that like a New York tradition, or is that just PTQs?
Oh, he definitely owes cake.
Explain the tradition.
So in New York, if you win a tournament, you owe cake. You have to buy a cake for everybody else. Normally, it's I guess you get to choose what cake you want to buy, but it's generally unacceptable if your cake is like not a Billy's icebox cake or something like that. It
What's
has to be like a
Billy's
nice.
Icebox?
Oh, okay. So they take heavy cream.
Okay.
And they take like a circular mold.
Uh-huh.
They pour in the heavy cream. Then they
Right.
put crushed chocolate cookie pieces on top of the cream. Then they pour and then they freeze it. Then they pour another layer of heavy cream on. They put crushed chocolate cookie pieces on top of it. Then they freeze it. They pour another layer of heavy cream on, and they do this. And then once it's all done, they can leave it out, and it doesn't have to stay frozen. And it stays at like this like gelatinous, delicious mass from heaven. And that's icebox cake. So, yeah, Christian Calcano's gonna buy me an icebox cake this week. I just called it right now.
Dear Lord.
That's right, Christian. Buy me an icebox cake. I want it.
I think everyone listening wants one after hearing that.
Yeah, have Billy's stock. We go through the roof. Anyway, yeah, I'm really excited for Christian. Yeah, it's really, really cool. I can't wait to see him, congratulate him, give him a hug.
Yeah.
Also, Brad, great showing. Brad, one of my best friends in the world. Sucks that he lost in the finals, but still, you know, finals appearance pretty good. And, you know, Brad had a bad year. Didn't do well for a while. Just last weekend in Barcelona, 20th place. Great showing at the Pro Tour. Now, this weekend, runner-up at a Grand Prix. I think the Brad Nelson of 2010 might be back.
I would love to see that.
I would also love to see that.
Maybe he'll even work with me for the Invitational again.
Wouldn't that be the best?
It would really be the best.
When he's on, he's so on.
Yeah, he really is.
Like, I've tested with him for events when he was on, and man, he just knows everything.
Yeah. He just thinks the right way. So both players are definitely mulling to 6. I'm not sure if either of them are going to 5, but drawing up hands right now.
The whole Star City crew sweating David McDarby.
Yeah. The buying booths long since closed up. Mark Eilers. Faithful saluting on turn 1, discarding a thug and a Gristlebrand.
Ooh.
And playing a Lands Diamond and passing the turn.
David with a turn 1 island. Or first dredge. Not all too impressive for Mark.
Does show us those nature's claims.
Yeah, so he did side those in. And we'll see if they end up doing anything.
Yeah. Well, one's in his graveyard. So it's not going to do a whole lot from there.
No, it's not. David here can play fetch land. He's got a pretty land-heavy hand.
He's
so
got
you
a
might
brainstorm all the way in the back.
Yeah, he could just brainstorm them away. With a combo deck, it's fine to just brainstorm lands away.
I would definitely
aggressively.
want to... I would have wanted to brainstorm there, because if I hit Grafdigger's Cage, then I'm, like, so set. Just lock out his flashback on his Faithless Slitting. So he dredges land, Firestorm, Cabal Therapy off of that thug.
He has Firestorm in his deck again.
He can't even target Emrakul.
And he has to have 7 in hand to hit Gristle
And there's
Band.
no crypt effects, right? It's just cage.
Yeah.
I am at a loss for Mark's logic on Firestorm.
No. So, Firestorm, Bronson Magnan explains that Firestorm may be sided in by Mark because it's an uncounterable discard outlet.
Sure. I can understand the functionality of it for sure. Therapy, Bridge, Grave Troll, and Coliseum from the first looting. Therapy, Bridge, Zealot, imp, mine, and city. So a pretty good looting, all things considered.
Yeah, no, David really just needs to find a cage here.
Yeah, that's why I wanted him to brainstorm there. Like, there's going to be another 12 cards turned up here. Well, David isn't dying this turn.
Yep, that's the good news for David. He will die next turn.
Almost certainly.
It's very unlikely that he does not die next turn.
I really don't like him not brainstorming at end step. Like, I think that he needs to brainstorm, and then that way, if he
gets one card deeper if he was
if he has 2 mana land intuition, then he can intuition for cages. He plays 3 for that reason. If he brainstorms on next turn, then he cannot play the cage, and we'll get comboed. Is that a cage that is poking? No, that's a delta.
Yeah. Alright. Cracks this Scalding Tarn. Gets that Volcanic Island off the top of his deck. And
Shuffle, and he basically just wants a cantrip into a cage here.
yeah, I mean, if he can find a cage, he's
Going to
really
survive.
good. He's in really, really good shape, actually.
He can pierce the flashback on looting, which is nice. So he's actually not going to die, but he does have Ponder. Daze, Ponder, and something.
Daze is pretty good, too.
Yeah, especially against an opponent with no land.
Yeah.
Gemstone Mine has its drawbacks. Only keep them if you can win with them. The oft-forgotten adage of Ponder.
Hey, David, could just shuffle it up and look for that cage. Dave McDarby was in here doing commentary with me during the last round of Swiss. Many of you might remember that. Here he is now, playing in the finals, battling it out with his Sneak and Show deck.
Keeps. He could play a fetch land, yeah.
Plays
Get
fetch land, gets
a
another
fresh
Ponder.
3 with Ponder.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. Sees 4 new instead of 2 new.
Seems very good. And
Mark with just crossed fingers and high hopes.
does not.
The snap
for
keep
Ponder.
on the Ponder. No, sorry, the non-snap keep on the Ponder, belying the absence of cage.
Yeah. So I believe he has a Spell Pierce and 2 lands, maybe?
Yeah, that seems like an easy shuffle. He has a Spell Pierce in hand, right?
I believe so, yes.
Like, that faithless looting isn't resolving.
No, it's not. Yeah, so, Dave, gonna shuffle this up. I mean, he's seen so many cards now. Does find a Gristlebrand. Next turn, he will build Intuition for the cages.
Does he have intuition?
I think so, right?
I didn't see one.
Alright. A Dredge from Mark.
A lot of bridges in there.
Yes.
And a lot of dredgers. Flashback looting.
Yep.
In response. Oh, really? He
Oh, he
lets
didn't
it
have
resolve?
it. No, he must have not had it then. Because there's no way,
I see a
right?
Force Wheel in his hand, though.
Yeah, but then his only other blue card is Intuition.
Oh. Okay. That's all 4 bridges. I think he's just gonna get Zealotted.
Yeah, he just dies. Well, no, if he
mean,
dreads
he-
returns for Zealot, then he can force that.
Sure, but he still has 12 zombies.
Yeah, he's just dead then.
His options: take 39 this turn, or take 24 next turn.
Yeah.
Not a wildly enviable set of choices.
No, but there are still. He could still draw Show and Tell. Drop his Gristleband into play. The lifelink plus the blocker is enough to sway it in his favor. 16 plus 9 is 25,
Yeah.
which is 1 greater than 24. So if he draws a Show and Tell,
Wait,
he's
16
left.
plus 9?
Is 25.
But where do you get 9 from?
He gains 7 life from Gristlebrand and prevents 2 damage from the attacking
Oh,
zombies.
yeah.
No, I just made the number up.
I don't know, man. It's late.
I understand.
Cabal therapy you.
So, Cabal Therapy. With the Cabal Therapy, yeah, David's just dead, right?
Yeah.
Basically, no matter what.
Mark names Force Will.
Yeah. David going to have to move on to a game 3 here. Yep. David going to pack this one up. Move on to the next game.
You saw a lot of cards to that Craft Digger's Cage.
Yeah, he dug so deep. Like, actual saw
Missed.
like over 20 cards.
Yeah, absolutely. He was favored to see Craft Digger's Cage, but then again, I don't think he was a favorite to win Game 1.
I don't think so either.
So
Yeah, I mean,
broke serve on the Fates pushing.
yeah, both people breaking
the
serve. We are
what
now
should
going
happen.
into game 3, where David McDarby is a favorite going into the third game.
On the
I
play.
believe he's on the play. He has Graph Digger's Cages in his deck.
He has Dazes and Spell Pierces.
Mm-hmm. And if he has Spell Pierce to protect the cage, I would recommend
Do you
waiting
board
until you
in
have 2 mana.
both the Pyro and Blue Elemental Blasts to hit Careful Study and Faithless Looting?
I don't think so. I think you just want all of your cards to find your combo, or
Yeah, I mean, you aren't cutting cantrips.
what are you cutting then?
Is Misdirection that good?
Misdirection is pretty bad, I guess.
I guess you were cutting those for cages anyway.
Yeah, like the cards you want to cut here though are like Misdirection and
Like, that's probably just it.
yeah. And I mean, there are only
Maybe
two of
a
them,
Lotus
so
Petal?
Yeah, you need to cut one of their cards, so probably a Lotus Petal.
And those are just the only 3 that you're bringing in. He does have Pyroclasm, though.
You know what I would like to change about David McDarby's deck?
Do tell.
I would like to play more Preordains.
Even after the full set of Ponder and Brainstorm?
Well, I think you play a full set of Preordain before a full set of Ponder.
Really? With all those fetch lands?
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
Really?
Really?
But you see one more card with Ponder.
Yeah, maybe.
4 is more than 3.
No, I understand, but Preordain is like, you get to put the ones you don't want away.
Yeah, fetch lands do that for you with Ponder.
Yeah, but it's not like you always have one.
Yeah, but if you're digging for 2 things, then...
Alright, fine. I mean, I've always, basically every combo deck I've ever played, I've always been happier with Preordain than Ponder. But this is definitely different. Obviously, if he had more ponders than preordains, or if he had more preordains than ponders in game 1, he probably would have lost.
Yeah.
So, might be wrong.
Ponder just gives you more information up front.
So, David, now shuffling up for the third game, both these players. Here it's getting late, 9:46. This finals match going on for over an hour now. Very tight finals match.
Yeah. I mean, game
2
one
combo
took
decks.
more than half an hour by itself. Probably more than 40 minutes.
Yeah. Game 3 of the finals. This is what it all comes down to. Mark Eilers wearing multiple team shirts, the Rays and the Knights.
Who are the Knights?
I don't know. Maybe it's his Magic the Gathering team.
I can respect that.
Yeah. I want to be on Magic the Gathering team.
Who's your team for Return to Ravnica team sealed?
Oh, Brad Nelson and Chris Lockman.
It's a normal and reasonable team.
It's going to be pretty fun. It's actually just like
So like just
the
two
most
guys,
fun
right?
team ever.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
We will have a good time.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
And if the set's anything like Ravnica, we'll probably do really well. That was back when I was good at Magic.
What, now you just got awful? JVL Armchair Theorist Extraordinaire.
JVL Armchair Theorist Extraordinaire.
One-time good Magic player, now rank amateur, but Armchair Theorist Extraordinaire nonetheless.
Hey, I mean, I could probably still win a PDQ. I could
Not that you
definitely
want to
still win a
try,
PDQ.
but
No, I mean, I'll probably play PDQ or 2 this season.
yeah.
I was thinking about it. I've got some brews going on.
After
too
watching all of the SCG Opens, I'd be surprised if you don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard though because I'm always writing, so I'm constantly like just being like, oh, here's a brew, and I'm just gonna budgetize it and write about it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about writing about a variant of the Blood Artist deck that went 9-0 at the GP
With Gloom Surgeon?
with Gloom Surgeon.
The Goblin
That's a guy
Hacker
you don't
that
really
could-
want to go to, like as a doctor, the Gloom Surgeon. I feel a little bit strange about that.
I mean, he doesn't feel very good about this prognosis.
All right, so David leads things off with a Volcanic Island, and Mark has a Faithless Looting.
Off of a Gemstone Mine.
Yeah, going to be discarding Stinkweed Imp and Bridge from Below, or I mean, he has a lot of options there. Yeah, Bridge from Below.
Looks like
Alright.
David has Show and Tell and Sneak Attack.
Okay, turn 2, Show and Tell.
Oh, dear.
And,
It's symmetrical.
yep. Put your cards face down. Yep. So
Gristlebrand, choose your hero.
Bristlebrand's a pretty good one.
So Mark is going to dredge quite a few cards this turn. Flamekin Zealot.
Yeah, David
Future
now
now.
at 18 Formation Tomb, I believe.
Yeah. It is very reasonable that with 5 dredges, Mark kills David here.
This turn, because he also has access to the mana to Faithless Looting. Oh, only once. Okay. Oh, but he gets the
Well, no, that was his
Coliseum
dredge for the
plus,
turn. So he's going to cast
yeah.
Faithless Looting here.
and then get Coliseum.
Correct.
So he might just kill him right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Might be around 50% to do it. Maybe a little better even.
Yeah. Man, when is turn 2 show and tell for Bristlebrand not good enough?
On the play.
Dredge, often called the least fair deck in Legacy. We may just see why here. And McDarby paying 7. Force of will, please.
You can pay 7 again, right?
He can daze it. Daze is just fine. Daze still cuts it off. I was pretty sure he had daze as like the 3rd card from the right. 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 bridges.
Yeah.
Discard 11 dredge points.
Yep.
Activate Cephalid Coliseum. 3 draws.
Yep.
First
And,
draw. Replace. 6 flips.
So Grave Troll.
1 Narcomoeba. 2, 3, 4 Narcomoeba. 5, 6. Imp. 5 dredges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Imp. 1, 2, 3. That's dread return. Okay, David's dead.
Well, does he have a Slaying Zealot?
Yeah, he flipped that real early.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
David's not necessarily dead yet.
So he Cabal Therapies, naming Sarpadian Empires Volume 3. And gets 2 zombie tokens. He then flashes back.
David can still activate Grizzlebrand, dig for a Force of Will. David can still daze. David has 2, like,
Yeah.
David has a hard counter spell in hand.
Okay,
It's free,
so
and
these Narcomoebas are going to turn into 8 2/2 zombies. They're not going to attack, but
yeah, but if they don't attack this turn, David could just kill Mark next turn.
with showing in a sneak attack and then sneak attacking an Emrakul.
Yeah. I mean, if he's like 20 cards in his hand, man. Like, I just find it really hard to believe that he's just like gonna get
Yeah, I guess you just
get
go real
nugged
deep.
and die. He's got 20 cards in his head.
Well, I mean, he's getting Cabal Therapied. I guess now that you mention it, probably just going to name Force of Will.
Yeah. So he's getting therapied. And let's see what happens here. Did David bring the Pyroclasms, do we know?
I don't believe so.
They're not that bad.
Yeah, I really like them.
Yeah, now, David not dazing that Faithless Looting. Kind of a big deal, because that allowed Mark to activate that Cephalid Coliseum.
Yeah.
So we'll to go over the top. But then again, if he does daze that, then he puts himself behind a turn and is unable to sneak in an Emrakul next turn
Sure.
to actually win the game next turn. And then because he's behind a turn, he's just going to lose the next turn anyway.
I suppose.
So
He named Misdirection with Cabal Therapy.
interesting. And David showed him his hand, obviously.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah, if David lets him name the card, then David has let Cabal Therapy resolve.
Correct. It's like Pithing Needle or Meddling Mage.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's definitely the mana to sneak attack in David's hand. I don't see a Lotus Petal, do you?
I do not.
But David can draw at least another 7 cards.
Yep.
These show and tell, these sneak attacks might get cleared out. Misdirection, not exactly the name on the numbers, right?
Yeah, it's a...
It's a 2 of.
Yeah,
Cool.
and it's not...
I also wouldn't think that it's still in his deck.
I guess he's just thinking to himself, well, if I dread return targeting my Flamekin Zealot and
Yeah,
misdirects
like, what
it,
stops it?
like, I think that's actually a disaster. So...
He passes the turn.
Oh, wow. Oh, another daze for David.
Draws days.
David has to draw 7 with Gristlebrand
Peel
to try to win
7.
this turn.
Peel 7.
The fact that he was given this turn is
A huge gift.
yeah.
The thing is, Emrakul and Gristlebrand can actually be blocked by those Narcomoebas because of some tight play by Mark. He keeps the 3 Narcomoebas in play. He has 2 lands and
you're right,
3
yes.
zombies. So he sacrifices his 2 lands, his 3 zombie tokens, and a Narcomoeba. Remakes 3 zombie tokens, blocks Emrakul and Gristlebrand with the remaining 2 Narcomoebas, takes no damage, and gets another zillion zombies. And I believe, if we are being honest with ourselves, each Narcomoeba represents 3 zombies. The zombie tokens in play would be annihilated, and so Mark would end up with exactly 9 2/2 zombie tokens. David would gain 7, going to 18, and 9 times 2 is exactly 18.
Yep.
So even if David attacks with an Emrakul and a Gristlebrand this turn,
He's dead. If Mark plays
he's dead. Mark has a plan, and it seems like he's going to stick to it. Which is pretty
David this turn
impressive.
is going to need double Grafdigger's Cage in an attack.
Brainstorm a good start. Draws Emrakul, something, and something else. Puts back a sneak attack and another sneak attack. Oh, an intuition, as well as an Emrakul.
Alright. Multiple dazes in hand for David now. Let's see.
This is such a weird tightrope to walk.
Yeah.
I think that
very
Mark
strange.
has David dead though.
I think you're right. It's... I mean, this is a pretty tough game.
I agree.
Alright. David, mulling over his options here, has fetch land that he's thinking about playing here. I think David just loses. I don't think he can win. Yeah, so he's going to be... I mean, anything can happen. I've seen people win completely unwinnable games because other people have messed up against them, so not willing to count them out yet, but it does look very bad. Yeah, so
David considering his massive stack of cards.
yeah, this discard step might take a while too.
Yeah. Counting his deck. He points to Gristlebrand. His buddy takes him to 3. He was at 11, he goes to 10 from the fetch, and then 3 from Gristlebrand's activated ability.
Yep. And now he can cast a show and tell, put an Emrakul into play, but that doesn't really do anything.
He could go to 1. Show and tell it. Sneak attack, activate, put Emrakul into play. Again, like we said, at the end of the turn,
just-
Mark has 18 power worth of zombies, given the way he played. Mark, to his credit, has played very patiently.
Great show and tell here.
Show and tell is also going to have the unfortunate downside of letting Mark put in a Stinkweed Imp.
Yeah.
That Stinkweed Imp card.
Yeah, that
Pretty
Stinkweed
good.
Imp comes in, and let's see. Can David figure out a way to win this game? It seems extremely unlikely to me, but who knows? At 1 life now. The Force of Will is in his hand, uncastable. Until he attacks the Crystal Brand, of course. Lotus Petal can be sacrificed to put Emrakul into play. Going to go ahead and make a red, and, blue, and Brainstorm, and that's it. Yep. So Mark Eilers, our champion, playing Dredge. I did not see that coming at all.
We have a champion.
Wow. A Dredge champion.
Yes. Very interesting. So, man, that was a pretty exciting finals match
Yeah.
that we got to watch right there.
2
Yeah.
very, very involved games and a blowout in the middle.
Yeah.
A
First
lot
game
of
was
decisions.
extremely involved.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff. Everybody who, a lot of people watched David McDarby do commentary in the last round of Swiss, and then they got to watch him battle in the finals. Super close match.
Yeah.
And it's a crazy thing. David McDarby on the play in game 3 with a